The plan? Get up on that ridge and rain down hellfire. It's time for the new season of Roguetech. Course correct! You might be wondering why I'm dressed like this, and it's because I joined the Timbuktu Collective, one of the new factions in the update. This is just how we dress out here, and you can't prove me wrong without photo evidence. So let's dive in and see how we got started. Alright, so we're starting a new campaign. Course correct, patch is out. There's a ton of new faction types down here. Look at all these. The issue I was finding though is a lot of them are clan starts. And so you start with like souped up mechs with all these clan tech. I like the really early scrappy game. So after going through them all, I think I found one that's more IS. The Timbuktu Collective I liked. So yeah, we're gonna try this one. These are terrible call signs. Yeah. She's a screamer for sure. Alright, where are we starting? I think Karita or Leah. You know what? We'll start in the free worlds because I think the Timbuktu Collective was part of the free worlds at one point, so maybe it'd be kind of close. I like going survival for my main guy. Reckless and brave just feels like main character energy. And I want to start with the new start, the Corsair, since the Timbuktu Collective seemed to have a problem with pirates. I think it's fitting that, you know, maybe they salvaged one for use for themselves. And now time for everybody's favorite part of a new campaign. We get to see what mechs we got. So I'll try to hide it like I did last time. I'll go one by one. Starting with, oh man, I'm already happy because we got a bushwhacker. A plasmid up bushwhacker with a mask, an XL engine, and a heat sink. Man, this is not a clan mech, but damn, that is a lot of technology on a starter lance. 165 alpha. So we got a plasma that does heat damage, which I love. A bolt-on AMS. Interesting. 2 different multi-missile launchers. Case. What is that? LRM L through K. Listen, kill. But the heat efficiency is off the chain. Okay, well, that's the centerpiece of my army. Number 2 is a Vulcan 5SR. I don't know that I've ever seen this model. Oh, more plasma rifles, more flamers, and MG, and a mask still. These are some crazy mechs. They're like fast, but also burn you out of the cockpit. Very interesting. Pretty heat efficient. Again, Alpha Strike in the 100. Pretty dang fast, 9 and 10, and it's got jump jets, 6 of them. I'm not going to do refits yet. I'm just going to go and look at what we have to play with, and then we'll go back. Third mech is a Hollander G2. So again, pretty souped up, but maybe not for the time period. It's got ferrofibrous and endo steel to save a lot of weight. Comes with a supercharger, a light Gauss. Just a light Gauss? And this one I'm kind of scratching my head on. I'm not quite sure where the weight went. I'm guessing they spent it on the ammo, so it could just shoot non-stop. Okay, mech number 4 is Firestarter 2S. Always like fire starters in the beginning. 4 flamers, ER medium lasers, a single support small laser, and a beagle probe. Oh, and an AMS for some reason. Huh. Oh, and a double heatsink kit. I mean, yeah, pretty souped up. I can't complain about this Firestarter either. Let's pass one day for our pirate mech. And what do we get here? I've never seen this one yet. A Prita? Looted from a repelled Dominion assault on the pirate stronghold. This is exactly why I like all the new starts. It's just like weird stuff to play with. Ooh, that thing looks freaking cool. I've never seen that model yet. I like the little tiny cockpit. Let's see what's inside of the thing. Oh man, this is one of them crazy mechs. Alright, let's start with the weapons. We get an Alpha Strike of 120. What the heck is this? A light PPC CAP. Okay, so it could be shot as a light PPC, I think, or you can put it in rapid fire mode, or a third mode is damage mode, I think. ATM 9 Pirates, so jury-rigged ATMs can fire all the... Oh, it's almost like a multi-missile launcher, but ATMs can go inside of it? It's got an active probe in there? What does this thing not do? Oh, it's a 45-tonner too, wow. This thing is absolutely insane. A jump pack booster, a void system, which I don't know what that is, but then crazy enough, in its left arm, it's got a punch, it's got claws, it's got a retractable blade, and it's also got a laser pistol. This thing's insane, and I can't wait to use it. Yeah, so that is the end of all my new mechs. Do I have any vehicles? Oh my gosh. And we have vehicles. And the first one is a Condor. LRM-15, AMS, MGs everywhere, XL engine, and an ECM. Kind of like a support vehicle, I guess. Okay. And the final thing that I have not looked at, a Stygian Mud Skipper. Again, mainly an LRM boat. I don't know that I'm going to use this thing. I kind of almost want to just tear it apart now. All right, let's look at the rebuilds real quick. See what we can do. Starting with the mech. So this one is full up to the brim. I can't fit anything else in this thing, nor do I want to try. So we'll leave him alone. Next is the fire starter. And his armor is looking pretty good for the first couple missions, I think. I'm fine with the 40s and the 50s. 45 legs. Potentially remove some jump jets if I wanted to, but I'm actually okay with that as well. Hollander, though. Oh yeah, I'd have 2 tons to play with, but like what could that realistically even get me? I would almost have to like rebuild it completely without the Gauss. This one might not show up in all the missions. The Vulcan, what can I do with it? So it runs at a 9 speed, which is pretty, and it's got a mask. Like, do I really need jump jets too? I'm thinking I take the jump jets out, honestly. Fill this up. Let's just see what we're looking like. Fully armored. I just don't see myself needing the jump jets, really. I know the Vulcan is a jump jet mech. But with the mask, it just feels like so much. Maybe I can queue it up. I won't take it into the first mission. And then I will be able to take it into the second. And then this thing, again, it's kind of so full of stuff. I don't even want to mess with it right now. All right, I say we just get into our first mission then. I'm guessing this is at least easily a star. Maybe a star and a half, Lance? Oh, damn, we can get up to 2 stars. 2 skulls. All right, so I love to always just start off with a battle, just like a straight battle. Oh, this is the Steiners fighting my people. The Timbuktuians. Entire world is a desert, huh? It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. Is this the Timbuktu people? That is. Okay, so what are they... If I can stay in their graces, what do they want me to do? Blackout. This is definitely gonna be 2 lances worth of stuff. Let's do it. So we'll be using our Bushwhacker, our Preta, fire starter for sure, and I'm thinking the EMS Condor. So I opt to have us dropped off in the front of our first target. And after our initial scan of the area, I see a little shelf that we can get high ground on. That'll give our pilots a little bit of edge getting some extra hits in with that accuracy nerf. The plan is for it to look like this. Pew, 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 pew. After positioning my mechs onto the top of the shelf, it's time to send in 2 fast light mechs to pop the booby trap that's about to happen. And what we get is no mechs, no tanks, but actually just 4 turrets that we have to kill. A little unfortunate because I really wanted a lot of salvage. I think we had like 23 on the docket. But hey, at least this is a pretty good testing ground just to see what my guys are capable of. Starting off with the Bushwhacker, I make sure that we don't cook ourselves because of the desert planet, and we take some pretty dang good shots at the thing. Checking its health after though, I realized we need to really focus fire because these things have a lot more health than I'm used to in Battletech Advanced. Next up is the souped out pirate mech that I used to spring the trap. He actually gets some decent hit chances even though he's on the ground at the same level as them. You can see that every ATM in the volley hit because that's part of the new update. It's not per missile anymore, it's the entire volley. Next we bring up the fire starter to support. Most of his guns are close range, so we only get 1 hit. I didn't realize how dang fast this Condor actually is. It can get up to 10 evasion and move really far. It also comes equipped with standard and EOR LRMs, which will help us get a little bit more accuracy in those strange range brackets. And unfortunately, our entire volley misses, but we do end up hitting with a large laser. I really like how quick and how long range this Condor can actually help support. The enemy tries to shoot the Bushwhacker, but we have so much AMS going on, nothing really cuts through. Oh yeah, and I forgot to turn on the combat log, so that's on there now. I guess I didn't monitor the Preta's heat the first round, because all I can do is shoot the laser pistol. From y'all that don't know what Roguetech is, the mech actually has hands, so it can carry like handheld pistols, and the heat does not actually transfer to the mech itself, since it's technically not built into it. Back to our initial turret target, I send in the fire starter for a kick and just shoot some flamers at it. I'm still not used to how much structure they have, so unfortunately, The turret like has just a sliver of health and it needs to get shot one more time to get taken out. I should have checked the range modifiers, but all of a sudden I lost like almost all of my hit chance except for one little target way in the back that I have no damage on, so I kind of just have to burn a turn on the Condor just shooting that. But it's all good, because the Bushwhacker is able to finish off that initial turret without having an alpha strike. And the enemy tries and fails to hit the Condor. He's such a fast moving target and so far away, I think he's going to be a nice little distractor. In fact, the enemy has a hard time hitting any of my mechs this round. So with 3 turrets left, it's back to the Preda's turn. I kinda had moved him in close so we can get a melee in, but I've never really used a wrist blade, so I was kinda confused if I needed to like pop it out. I ended up just kicking him, and the kick itself does 96 damage. This is a nasty early game mech. My master plan of getting the high ground is kinda coming to bite me in the butt, mainly because it was turrets and they're far away. I was planning on mechs or something being right down in the compound. So I take the one shot I actually can, and unfortunately, nothing really hits. The fire starter runs up to the next nearest turret. He wants to keep his heat a little bit okay, so we just shoot the flamers again and do a decent bit of chunk of health off that turret. Meanwhile, the Condor ends up hitting another 10 evasion, just sprinting around that shelf and getting some shots off as well. Wanting to avoid damage, we max sprint for that evasion and get a couple more shots off on the turret. Next up is the sprinting Preda, and the sheer amount of guns we throw out actually manages to take the thing out in one final blast. And again, with that LRM change, the Condor is able to land every single hit on him and kill the last turret for us. So now that the combat has passed, we now must move our troops down to the second target. As you can see, there's another huge shelf up here we could take advantage of to get that high accuracy, high elevation bonus. I edited out some of the movement turns, but I got all of my guys on the shelf, but then I started to worry that the same thing would happen where like they can't get close enough for their maximum damage. So my final setup is the Bushwhacker is on the ground, the fire starter and the Preda's up there, and then the missile launcher Condor is in the back on the shelf, safely tucked away. With that, we spring the trap. Alright, what do they have? Let's see. Alright, so they got a Badger tank transport, okay. A J. Edgar tank, a Pirate Harasser. Oh man, the salvage from this is going to be terrible. Oh, or so I thought at the time. I tried to get the heaviest skull mission that I could, but I found out later that you have to drop in at least once for the game to realize how heavy you are. So really, I can only get a 1 skull mission. So unfortunately, all I got was turrets and tanks this round, but we'll see what the salvage gives us at the end. Reserving works a little bit different in Roguetech. When you reserve, the next round you actually will show up slower, so you can kind of hose yourself. So I'm trying to play around with not reserving unless I really have a specific strategy in mind. With that said, the 12 evasion spawn protection mostly protects these guys from the first volley. So as soon as the Preda sees an enemy move, he runs to the back and fires. I get a 9 on that SRM roll, kind of a high roll. And immediately after, I take a random shot to the cockpit and I take 1 damage. Luckily, he's not bleeding, but yeah, the headshot chance has been doubled in this past patch. I think it went from 1 to 2. So I have noticed some random injuries more than I would normally see. The fire starter moves up and assists the Preda in destroying the back armor of that tank. I wasn't kidding when I say I use the Bushwhacker as the centerpiece of my army. I sprint him up into the face of 2 enemies and just unload everything he has into the back of this tank. I score 2 hits, and it's at this point that the friendly allied turrets come online and help me finish off the mission, even though I don't need any help. The Condor keeps playing the fast sniper role and gets a couple more shots off from his high perch. The Badger did not appreciate the Bushwhacker blowing into his rear, so he tries to peel out and shoots one of the turrets. Meanwhile, my Bushwhacker kicks into high gear, gets right behind him, only has 20s across the board, but manages to finish him off anyway. That leaves 2 targets left on the board. Noticing that my Preda has a really good to hit chance with kicking, we treat old J. Edgar like a soccer ball and hit him from behind. And then immediately after, those stupid turrets I didn't even ask for end up stealing the kill. That was supposed to be XP for my pilots, man. My injured fire starter, not want to lose any chance of glory knowing he's going to go to medbay soon, sprints up to the Pirate Harasser, finally is able to alpha strike because it's pretty much the end of the mission, and is rewarded with some nice juicy internals getting cooked. So the first mission's down with minimal injuries. I mean, it could have gone way worse. I had opted for full salvage, so our payment is not all that much. I'm kinda happy that everyone got at least one kill though. So on the salvage board, we have all the little light tanks that we blew up, but I really don't want to rebuild those. I had never seen the suspicious cargo, so that's kinda cool. So I scroll down a little bit and whoa, look at all this though. Wow, oh, we got acid SRMs? I might just take one. Okay, I lied. I thought this was a bad haul, but this turns out to be a crazy good haul. So at the end of the day, I took 2 XL engines, heavy rocket launcher, C3 slave, and those acid SRMs. I pretty much got enough parts to rebuild a couple tanks. I think I ended up wanting to just like scrap those or basically just sell them for the parts, right? I didn't do any rebuilds at the end of this, although I was playing around with a couple different things. I kind of liked how this episode came out. There's definitely a couple things I want to film differently so it's more clear to you guys. But yeah, hopefully too, I won't take so long to put the episodes out. I just want to do a little special intro for the very first one. But I do intend to crank these out a little bit more regularly than like once a week. That, you know, because I want to play and I can't really play without making content for it on this save file. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Come back for more. Mwah.